Welcome to another episode of Crunch My Numbers, where we explore actionable strategies to help you achieve clarity and success in your business. I'm your host, Paul Redmond, and today's episode is all about establishing a clear direction for your business. In today's episodes, we'll discuss why having a strategic plan is essential. We're going to introduce the strategic direction compass model. We're going to walk you through the steps you need to take to set your business on the right course for growth. And if you ever felt like your business efforts were lacking a focus or direction, then this episode is for you. So, what really is the issue of having an unclear strategic direction? What issues come up when you have it? So, without a clear strategic plan or roadmap for growth, you often find yourselves pulled in multiple directions. This lack of direction results in unfocused effort, wasted resources, missed opportunities. And instead of moving your business forward, you may find yourself drifting aimlessly. What impact does this have, really, is the next thing we need to talk about. When you don't have a clear strategy, you react to things that are coming at you instead of being proactive. You make your moves in the short term, but without a long-term focus. And it's really, really hard to align those efforts with your long-term goals. So just take a little step back and ask yourself, what are you trying to do today? Right? So what is your direction for today? And you get up in the morning, and again, we repeat the same habits as we've always done. And you go through the day, and when you get to the end of that day, you ask yourself, well, have I really achieved anything? Or no, it's okay, I didn't. And then you get to the point where you've looked at the day, and then you get to the point where it's Friday, and you go, what happened in this week? Oh my God, I didn't see this week. It's Friday. How did it become Friday so fast? And then you get to the day where it's September, October, November, and it says, this year is going by. Now, maybe that's a thing because I'm getting that bit older myself, that the years go a lot faster than normal. But when I started to put a long-term plan in place for myself and have that direction, it really and truly gives me a lot clearer understanding of where I'm trying to get to. So when I'm planning my day or my week or my month or my quarter or my year, I know where I'm trying to get to. Because without that clarity, what happens to me is I become unfocused and I become tired and I become overwhelmed. And we've talked about this throughout the podcast series of this, clarity on growth, stability, innovation, all of these things. So you really need to understand that the issues here are issues that are really solvable. Everything that we're talking about here are small decisions that lead to long-term opportunity. So what is the strategic direction compass model? Like, what really is it? The model guides you through three essential steps. And the three essential steps are you define your visions and goals, you assess the environments that you're working in, and you develop a strategic plan. And while we're doing this, we again ask ourselves the exact same questions that we ask ourselves every time. The three big questions: where are you now? Where are you going? And how can you get there? And we do that through the mindset of discovery, planning, and execution. So in order to build the first part of this as this strategic direction, we need to do the discovery part. And the discovery part is always really critical in this. So what is discovery? So the first step is defining your business vision and goals. So what do you want to achieve in your business, both in the short term and the long term? Whether it's expanding into new markets, increasing profitability, looking at operational efficiencies, using AI, using automations, growing your team. And in terms of creating that vision and goals, you go through the same things as we've talked about as well, which is the 4 stages of a business. So are you at a startup? Are you growing? Are you at a scale? Or are you looking to exit or harvest out of your business? So very critical, there's a simplified process that it allows you to do the work rather than having to figure out how to go about doing it. So the reason all these systems and models are put into place is to say, we know what you need to do to get clarity around where you're going within your business. So in order to do that, you use the model. And the model is the same for everybody. The model is different for nobody. But you apply all the amazing things that's going on in your life, all the goals that's going on in your life, all the things that are available for you to do both short and long term. And it gives you that energy and that excitement that if you have those in place, if you have your vision and have your goals in place, well, what they tell us is people are 80% more likely to achieve their goals if they have them written down. And your life becomes just a lot easier. So that's step one, define your visions and goals. Step two is analyze and have an internal and an external environment analysis where we talk about this. But it's really simple. It's conduct what's called a SWOT analysis. And what a SWOT analysis does, it looks at the strengths of what's going on in your business. It looks at the weaknesses. It looks at the opportunities, and it looks at the threats. And you may be well aware of both the internal weakness might be you need more people in your team. You need more computers. You need more cars or products or whatever you need. But those are internal factors when you're looking at the 4 stages of it. But there's also the external factors is, right, you're going to buy this new vehicle, but the tax relief is going to go down on it. The cost of fuel is going up. The market trends in your business are that your business is slowing down because the market doesn't take what you want or the service or offering you have. There's increased competition. So defining the vision and goals and then doing a simple analysis on that SWOT analysis. And what does that actually do then when you've done that SWOT analysis? It helps you develop the strategic plan. The strategic plan is a roadmap that outlines where you're going and how you're going to reach your goals. And it gives you actionable steps, it gives you milestones, and it shows you how to allocate your resources. And this can all be done on one page. And we've done this multiple times. You create one page and your whole strategic plan is on it. And you look at your big, massive, what they call BHAG goal. You look at that goal and you say, what if everything was possible? What do I want to achieve? Then you put your 10-year plan down. Then you do your SWOT analysis along the top. And then you look at what you're trying to achieve next year. Then you bring that back to a quarter. Then you look at in 3 years' time, what is your business going to look like? And it's like a snapshot into the future. So that picture of your business into the future, it's one page. And what we found is when you get this one page, you have that direction. It always changes. It's only version 1. Version 20, this is going to look completely different. So it is really, really critical here. So there's your strategic direction compass, your 3 steps to how to do it. And we've introduced a model. Now, why is strategic direction crucial and critical and most important? And what's the importance of having one? Because if you have an unclear strategic direction, you're going to have aimless decision making. Without a solid plan, you're going to risk wasting time and resources, as we said, on initiatives, and you don't know how to move you forward. So you don't know how to step across the bridge of the 4 stages. So if you're in startup and you're going to growth, you cross that bridge. So what's going to come at me in there? If you're going from growth to scale, what's the issues that people are facing? If you go from scale to harvest, what's the issues that are there? Now, and you might say, well, my issues are different. The issues are potentially slightly different, but in contextually, the issues are always the same. Because when you have done this so many times, the patterns are there, the exact patterns. So the patterns are not going to change, but your approach to those patterns in your particular circumstances. So you have a set of rules and you have a set of tasks to show you how to find that direction and what to do with that direction. So just imagine you're sailing a course, you're on a boat, and you're out in the ocean and you're just sailing away, but you've no compass. You might move right, you might move left, you might go forward, you might go back, but you've no clear direction. So you're unlikely to reach the desired destination that you want. And if you don't have that desired destination, how are you going to get there? If you don't have a plan for it, how are you going to get there? So we'll summarize how to define your strategic direction. There's a step-by-step implementation process. You define your visions and goals clearly. You assess the internal and external environments that you're operating in. You develop your strategic plan, your one-page strategic plan that you can take action on today. And when you take the action on today, you always have that plan in front of you. So you're actually looking at deciding where to go. Now, if I have to look at a particular real-world example of this, and I say that I'm talking to somebody who is 50 to 55 years of age, and they want to look at something like their retirement and succession planning within their business and their life. So we build out a strategic plan for that, or a strategic direction. And it's done through a series of conversations, and we sit down with somebody, and at the expense of repeating myself, we discover where they are now, we plan for where they're trying to go to, and we execute that plan, the 3-stage approach. So you will have situations where people are doing this a little bit later in life, and your time to plan and make that direction is curtailed by the fact that you're on a time lapse. So if you have 6 or 7 years to come out of your business, then you need to look at it differently than if you have 20 years ahead. So the earlier planning for the strategic plan, but people who put this into place a lot earlier than people who are looking to retire next year or the year after, they're 10x where they need to be. And they're 10x ahead of the people who are doing it a lot later. It's the power of compounding. If you're compounding something and an effort that you've done at 20, and you're compounding that, and then you start, instead of starting at 20, you're starting at 40, you have 20 years of compounding and it's gone. It's not that you can't do it, it's just you need to do it differently. So the use of the strategic direction compass to define that new vision and will help. But we have seen massive increases by people taking a step back and knowing that they have massively increased their wealth, their pension, their protection, their business growth. They've navigated the 4 steps of the business a lot easier, and their mind and their mental health is a lot stronger. So I suppose to conclude, and the next steps for this are, if you're ready to define your strategic direction and put your business on that path towards growth, here's a few steps you can take. The first step is schedule a strategic planning session. The links will be in the bio of how you schedule that with me. Bring together your key stakeholders in the business and define your visions and goals. Perform the SWOT analysis, internal, external, go through all of that, and then create the strategic planning document. And once you have that, I cannot tell you, and I cannot emphasize enough how important this document is. And people talk about, I don't want to do a strategic plan because it doesn't affect me and it's not applicable to me. It's applicable to everybody in every single case, business and personal. It doesn't matter. It's applicable in all walks of life. So I suppose my closing thoughts are this: by committing to defining your strategic direction, number one, you're going to focus your efforts. You're going to optimize all your resources. You're going to set your business and personal life on a clear path to sustain growth. And you don't leave your business's future to chance. So this is not a game of poker, a game of chance. You start planning for success today. Thank you so much. And in the next episode, we're going to follow on from this, and we're going to align your personal and business goals to create a cohesive vision for growth. So stay tuned for more insights on how to achieve balance in your life and in your family.